Okay, everybody can me. The chief's here. Chief. Woo.
Move it out.
Move it out.
Move it out.
Eric got him.
If you don't leave now, we're going to force you to stay the whole meeting.
Lock the doors. I don't. What is this? Do you know what this is?
Okay, here we go. Round two. Okay, welcome everybody to the town board meeting of October 24th, 2023. Town clerk on a roll call.
Councilman Tom Pivoting,
Here.
Councilman Paul Valentine,
Here.
Councilman Jerry Vitari,
Here.
Councilman Brian Donahue,
Here.
Supervisor Teresa Kenny.
Here. And we will do the Pledge of Allegiance again, because we are those type of people. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, couple quick announcements. We have the Pearl Rivers Farmers Market this Saturday, October 28th from 10 to 2, and it is expected to be dry for the first time in many, many weeks. So anyway, I've been out there. There's some good stuff, so you might want to check it out. The Orangetown Police Department is hosting a drug take-back event on Saturday, October 28th from 10 to 2 at Town Hall. So again, anybody has old medicines or things in their cabinets they want to get rid of, you can bring it on over here and they'll dispose of it properly. We have some discussion items. We have one is the proposed amendment to the Town Code, Chapter 43, regarding special permit outdoor parking and storage of vehicles. Is that what we're looking for Jane for?
Yeah, I was trying to get Jane. If you want, I can start. So if you recall, back in 2020, the board approved an amendment to the code for special permits that properties of a certain size in certain districts, LI, LO, OP, could apply for a special permit to allow outdoor storage of vehicles. It has to be on properties of 20 acres or more. That expired in January of 2023. It was a one-year permit with one-year renewals. What we're suggesting is to continue that. Jane's here. Jane, did you want to address the special permit? So is to eliminate the expiration of January 2023 and make it a one-year renewal, I guess. I mean,
Yes,
talk
that's
about
correct.
the-
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. This really addresses very large...
Tom just said it's not rocket scientist.
Yeah, no, very large properties. This was put in place to assist Blue Hill, which we all know has had a vacancy issue. And we've had no complaints about it. It seems to be working for them.
Yeah.
So
this is just incorporating what we did during like the emergency orders into the Town Code, right?
Right, because...
On
it
this one in
expired.
particular.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just taking out the end date
Correct.
and making it a yearly.
Making it a year, and this way they have to keep coming back so that we make sure there's no problems. And obviously, we have to review their occupancy each time. But I've been going there like once a week for the last 3 months because they were kind enough to donate the furniture, and that parking lot's empty all the
Empty.
time.
I
It's
know a
empty.
couple guys who had
Yeah.
space there, and they're going to Westchester, Connecticut.
Yeah, so I don't see that parking is going to be an issue in that location for a while yet, unless the commercial real estate market picks back up.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Any questions?
No?
No. Okay. We can workshop our agenda items. We have, number 3 is to resume the public hearing. Number 40, to continue or close the public hearing. Number 5, set the public hearing for November 14th, 2023, regarding performing work on 2202 Old Pasco Road in Pearl River. I don't even know. Was that on there when we went over this? Is that new?
Those are the two, as you're heading into New Jersey on the right, there's two homes that have been a blight. Jane can,
Oh, these are the two, okay.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Maintenance
they-
ones, okay.
this is to go so that the town can go and hire somebody to
Yeah, I was
basically
thinking
clean it up.
road, so I was confused, okay. Okay, so that's the two addresses right there. Are they owned by the same people? Yes, they are. They are? Okay. Number 7 is to waive a 30-day advance notice for an alcohol license. This is the old Mickey's, I guess, is being either sold or taken over, so it's almost at the 30 days, but why make them wait an extra amount of time? So that's basically. Number 8, approval of the certificate of sewer registration. Number 9, approve retainer agreement with Hodges, Walsh, and Burke regarding a claim that we got by Ralph Squitieri. I don't know if anyone has questions about that. You can ask Rob. I think it was an email on that kind of set forth everything. Number 10, approve, award a mini bid. I don't know what this is. Basically, it's 2 police cars. It's being paid out of that money that we get. What's it called? RICO. It's being paid for out of RICO money. So there you go. Number 11. You have a question, Paul?
No, it's
Oh,
good.
Yeah. Number 11, approve this supplement. We do this every year on the municipal snow and ice agreement. Jimmy needs us to do that. Number 12, approve a contract with VAD Construction Corp. For the Franklin Avenue curb and sidewalk improvements. Jimmy's here if you have any questions on this. Number 13, approve a temporary license for the Tappan Fire District. This is for access for tree removal. I know there was an email on that, and Rob had looked at it, and it's all good. Number 14, approve the award of the contract for Sport Tech Construction Corp. On the Franklin Street Park basketball court in South Nyack. Again, this was, we got money from ARPA on that, for that. Number 15, another one we got ARPA money for, amend resolution 2023-546. This is the Elizabeth Place Park Playground Project. I think the price went up, so we had to amend the resolution to include it, increase it. Number 16, award the bid for non-hazardous anti-corrosive odor control chemicals. Anything odor control is good, as far as I'm concerned. Number 17, so Brian's going to have to speak on this one, but Brian, you want to come up and explain it?
I don't know if I agree with it.
Well, as you remember, the legislature passed an amendment last year to increase the level of income that a senior can have and still qualify for the program, which you did, which is very generous, I thought. Every year that goes by, it seems like they're coming up with more ideas to undermine the tax base, in my opinion. Now, it's great to take care of the seniors, and we've done that. Now they're changing the basis of income from gross income to adjusted gross income. In order to offset that, because I think what will happen if we don't do something about that, we're going to have a lot more seniors apply. And we're already offsetting about $500,000 in taxes for this exemption as it is. So it's hard to say how many more would at least try and apply. But the intention of this law originally was for seniors who are destitute that need help paying their property taxes. Anybody that's like that is already getting the exemption. They're getting 50% off the taxes. What this does sort of undermines the intention of that law. And the resolution itself explains the rationale for that. And one of the things that we can do, which is in the law as an option, is to include IRA distributions as income, which I would strongly suggest we do. There's still going to be people, even with that will be qualified. But remember, everybody that gets an exemption, the people that don't get the exemptions, that are not seniors, that have kids, that have expenses, have to pay for this. So, it's just every year it seems like this legislature and governor is coming up with some other wacky idea. No wonder, as I've said a million times in memos and everything, no wonder people are leaving New York State.
Yeah.
This just adds to the problem. So, a senior, especially in Orangetown, it's a fairly wealthy community, you've worked all your life, you've acquired real estate, you might even have second homes, you have IRAs, you have income that is not part of this qualification. You can have, I literally have a couple of people in Piermont that I know are millionaires. They have $1 million house, but their adjusted gross income is under the so-called, 58.4 maximum. And this one guy qualifies for 45% off his taxes. He's a millionaire, and we can't do anything about it. That's not what the intention of this law was. So I would strongly suggest we at least do the option that we're allowed to in the law and include IRAs. There's other provisions in there that are existing already. We include full Social Security as income. And if you have a business, there's a limit as to the loss that can be taken off your federal income tax of $3,000. So really, that's the story. Do you have any questions? You know,
So this particular, what we're doing here now is just talking about the IRA, distribution of
that's
medical
all we.
care.
When
That's
do
all
we have
need.
to opt out by?
Yeah. There's other things in there that we don't do already, which is one of them is a nightmare. There's an option for towns to include medical expenses
Yeah, me too.
minus your income. Take that out of your income. Now, you can imagine what we would have to go through for that.
I know.
First of all, I
It's already
need 10 auditors to do it. So literally, everybody would be qualified in that case, because a lot of people take medicines, it's just, so that's one thing that's out there. We never opted into that, and I hope we never do. But this would be the only change. Just opt into the distribution of the IRA, which is income, and it should be counted each year. It's just on a yearly thing, a yearly basis. You either are destitute or you need help or you don't. And frankly, most of the applications I see, they don't need help, but it's there, they can apply for it, and they follow the actual limit of the rules, and they can get it.
Is this time sensitive?
Well, it would be nice to have this done now so we can prepare when people start calling about it. We take the applications after the first of the year for the following year.
Okay, but this is
would
my
affect
first
Jan-
time seeing it, right?
I just want to look into this law a little bit more. I mean, we just went through, a lot to get the levels increased and to get the volunteers. I'm going to take my time and decide if I want to do this.
Well, this is a positive. This is something.
I mean, Brian, you're up there saying
So
how
the
people
positive-
are trying to take advantage, but I want to do my research because I don't think it's a bad thing to let seniors stay in here, and some people help them out so they could, with the exemption. I don't think me and you have a different view on that. I want seniors who have been here for 40 years to be able to stay here.
Well,
But
many of them.
all we're doing is adding the IRA facet, is that what you're saying? We're adding where the IRA is part of the calculation.
Well, because the basis of income has changed from gross to adjusted gross this year. That's not an option. That's part of the new
law, they
legislation.
passed that. We don't have a choice on that, right?
So
So-
we can opt out or we cannot opt out. I'd like to do a little bit more research.
Okay,
on
fine.
this.
But I'm just,
Okay.
to me.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing it to our.
Yeah, well, that's, I feel like my job is to try and protect the tax base as much as possible, so,
Yeah.
No, I mean, again, I think people sometimes forget to recognize when it's somebody else is paying it. That's the problem. So, but it's not fine. We have time, so we
Yeah,
can
just-
look
so-
into it. Yeah, we'll pull it.
if
That's
you're going
fine.
to do this, it would be nice to do it at least by, say,
Before the end of the year.
Okay.
If we do it all.
You're on for number 18 too, which was
Okay.
on the last time. It's that pilot or something.
yeah. This is something that I also don't advocate in general, but I mean, Rockland Gardens is a proposed pilot that the Village of Nyack and the Nyack School District have already passed. This is a income-restricted apartment, and there's even some Section 8, I believe, units in there as well. So they're restricted on rental, and the income of the owner can't exceed 60% of the median income in Rockland. So this entity is going to purchase it, they're going to renovate it, and they want some stability going forward. They're putting a lot of money into it, but nevertheless, the rents are going to stay the same. And so they're asking for a long-term pilot, but as part of that, we have an existing assessment on it. So I don't want to say I came up with the idea, but I guess I did. I mean, since this is a long-term thing, I decided that we're going to go to a higher assessment after the work is completed. And that would stay in place. So it's going to go from about $1.5 million to $2.3 million in assessment dollars. And then that would take place after 2 years. and that would stay the same. So
For
it's not
the
really
entire pilot, it'll be 2.3, or will go up?
2.3.
All right.
So, and it's not really an abatement like a typical pilot. They pay regular taxes based on their assessment, just like everybody else does, based on future years' tax rates. So if this wasn't done at all, and they weren't doing anything to the building, it stayed the same, the existing assessment probably would be the same, would have stayed.
And have
they
have
pay
they
the-
advised you what kind of improvements they're going to do or not?
They're going to renovate the interiors, and they're going to put a lot of money into it, there's no
All right.
question.
And and it will stay at 2.32000
Yeah.
for, what is it, 25 years?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it'll be here at the end of the pilot. They're going to pay, not a fixed amount, they're going to pay a fixed assessment times that year's tax rates. Yeah, so just like everybody else.
Okay.
And if a revaluation were to take place here, and I hope the reporter, well, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
But if that were to take place in every pilot, there's a paragraph that says, whatever percent of the non-homestead class this property is, after a revaluation, it stays the same. So it's essentially, a moot issue as far as that goes.
So just from my knowledge, if the town wanted to say no, do they move forward with the pilot with the school district and the village or whatever?
Then the school district and the village would still honor the pilot.
Okay. I just wasn't
Then I'd have
sure.
a-
We
I
didn't
wasn't
know whether
sure.
we had an
We
option.
didn't know yet.
Is the county going to sign on this?
The county doesn't participate in pilots at all, anywhere. The only pilot they ever participated in was some very large, when we had American Home Products. We had a 5-year agreement a couple of times. They participated in that because it was so substantial, the biggest property in Rockland. But generally speaking, they do not participate in pilots. They feel that they're participating through tax benefits for materials or, I'm not sure exactly what benefits they are, but there's other benefits when you go through the IDA. And that costs the county, they say, enough, and they're not going to do the property tax part. But that's, of course, the smallest part of it anyway.
All right.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So, like I said, unlike many pilots where there's actual tax reductions or tax abatements, or there's a schedule that, lowers it in the beginning
Right.
and then it raises, this simply is, stays the same, and then it gets raised, and that stays the same. So they pay their taxes just like they would
Okay.
any other day of the week. So,
Okay.
Hey, Brian, real quick question, back to number 17. Are there other municipalities that do this with the IRA income and distributions?
there's other towns that are going to be doing this, yes.
But this
My own
new.
town is going to
This
do
is
it.
new.
Brian.
This is new, so
Right.
this is,
Yeah.
this is,
A
okay.
lot of towns are going to do that. And the reason it's in the legislation is because I guess they did feel that because they changed the ground rules from gross to adjusted gross, that they gave the towns an option to lessen the impact somewhat. Because, even since we raised the level of the, sliding scale, we had to offset almost twice as much tax money from the previous year. So we're talking about, an additional $300,000 had to be, shifted to everybody else. And this would probably do the same, maybe even more, if we didn't do anything. And this is still going to shift more tax dollars, but it just dampens it a little bit. And the fact is that distributions from IRAs are income, and if you're not qualified under this schedule, then you shouldn't be
Right.
subsidized.
Right.
It's as simple as that. Otherwise, I think, I agree that some seniors do have a hard time, but if they do, they're already getting the benefit. So,
Okay.
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you for that
Thank you, Brian.
explanation.
You're welcome.
Okay, number 19, we have accept and receive and file some documents in the town clerk's office as identified there. Number 20, Grant Allison Carden, my confidential assistant, salary increase effective January 1, 2024. I know there was some confusion. This is the number that's in the budget, and it is effective January 1, 2024. Do we have the audit? And then I think we are going to need an executive session. Okay, so can I get a motion to open the public comment portion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so no one signed up. Hold on here. No one signed up. Is there anybody here that would like to speak? Okay, come on up. Just, if you wouldn't mind saying your name for the record, and then we do have a 3-minute time limitation, so there's a clock over there. I don't know if you can see it, but.
One at a time.
Yeah. Really, stand together.
My name is John Caruso, and I live at 9 Century Road.
And my name's Danielle Federico, and I live at 10 Century Road. And we're really here together about the same issue. I apologize, we do have an exhibit. I would have sent it in advance, but this is something that was determined today, so we felt it was urgent to come tonight. And I just want to pass the.
Sure, sure. Names down.
So we're here tonight because there has been an ongoing nuisance issue in our neighborhood on Century Road. There is a neighbor at 7 Century Road and 8 Century Road.
And 5 Century.
And 5 Century Road that purchased all 3 properties. And back in February, they installed about a 6-foot number 7 for 7 Century Road in front of their property, lit up their property with excessive lighting. That I'm at 10 Century Road, which I am from number 7, and I put a zoning tax map in there so you could see how far away I am. I'm from 7 Century Road, I'm probably 300 feet, or
Yes.
500 feet maybe?
500 feet.
And I can see the lights from my property. Each property in our area has about an acre. I have the smallest lot. And I can also see the number 7 from the beginning of the cul-de-sac. Johnny lives
I
right.
live on 9 Century Road, and when I moved in 7 years ago, it was a very sleepy storybook town, and I just put in some candlelit looking solar lights along the pathway and kept the town looking very vintage and pretty. And now there's these, I call them candelabra chandeliers that have been installed. One is on my property line, which changed the whole vibe of my property, where my whole side of my house is the whole canopy of my trees. I have a very wooded lot, and it's completely lit from the bottom up. The light spillage is goes to probably 1/8 of an acre on my property, and Danielle
And
can
then-
see it to hers.
Yeah, and 8 Century Road just installed like a 6-foot number 8, and they installed that October 10th.
Right.
I called the building department. We've been in touch. There's a number of neighbors who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight that also are bothered by this. And the building department determined today that unfortunately there was nothing they could do because they consider the signs, even though it's for property, they consider them sculptures. I don't agree with it.
It's their address, 8, 7, and 5, and they are as taller than Danielle.
And the 5 is not installed yet.
Yeah.
We anticipate it being installed because he also owns number 5. So
But
this is something that's changing the character of our neighborhood.
Yeah, our town is just a library, a post office, and that's it. A library and a post office. And that town, I don't know if you know Palisades, it's not even as lit as what our whole block is now completely lit up. So it looks like not a mall, but I don't know what it's.
It looks like a commercial
It's
use.
a commercial,
Okay, thank you. I'm going to have Jane come
So
up.
all 3 properties are lit or just 7?
2 of them, so
No, look,
7 and 8. 5 is
8
also lit. It doesn't have
We
a
have
number
been
5 yet.
working.
and then I just wanted to add that they add, on my fence, on their side of my fence, which is on my property, actually, there's a 16-inch setback on my fence. They installed 3 lights that they keep on all night. It's on their side of the property, but I don't know if they trespass to put the lights on, but nobody ever asked me to put the lights on my fence.
So
I don't hate them.
lights, the issue of lights has recently started to appear. You're not alone in the complaints about lights. We've had a couple of them, and I know that Jane was looking into it, and I think I consulted with the town attorney about what we have and what else we could do. So I know that's probably in the works. But if you would just mind sitting down, I'm going to bring Jane up. She's our building inspector, see what she can enlighten us about. no pun. And, yeah, it may be something that we have to look at closer and maybe change the law. If we can't, again, each case is so individual, where the light is. I mean, one woman was complaining that the neighbor across the street's light above their front, the neighbors above their front door was shining into her windows. And I'm like, well, unless they're really super bright, that's what people have, lights above your front door. When you're out, you come in, it's dark. So each case is kind of, something we have to look at.
It's, for me, when I'm 500 feet from one of the properties, I don't think I should see, I shouldn't see your signs, but then your lights, it's,
And then for me, I like my property dark, and I like it private, and I don't want it lit up. I can't see the moon, I can't see the stars anymore. The whole neighborhood, it's changed the complete vibe, because it's 3 properties that are lit up, and there's probably 3 chandeliers on the one onto my left. Chandeliers meaning black poles that you would see in New Orleans or France or whatever, and then it has 4 crystal lights with all of them all beaming in different directions, and then lights up my canopy. But I can see the whole side of the 2 neighbors next to each other, and then I can start to see the one on the top of the hill. Whereas before, it was just dark.
Out of curiosity, what is he doing with 3 houses? He's not living in them.
it's an entity, I have no idea. And, if, I have no problem with developers, redevelopers, whatnot, but I don't know why he's an LLC, he's the only LLC on our street, and he owns 3. And he doesn't seem to care when neighbors complain about his signs, and he's just doing whatever he wants. And it's getting very frustrating, and I feel like the building department, the people I spoke to were very nice. They came out, and they unfortunately felt like their hands were tied, even though I know the zoning, I read the zoning code, and we're in the R40 zone, they are, and it limits the signage to 2 square feet. And the signs are 6 feet. I mean, what you could see in one of the
Yeah.
pictures, the sign is taller than the car. And it's 2 of them, and he's gonna do it to number 5, we know it.
Also, I'm like a very visual person, so that like, I don't know, I wanted the town to
I thought they
stay
put it on
charming and.
I thought they put that on the picture. I
No,
didn't
that
believe
is,
that was
those are the
actually-
signs.
I thought you were showing us that's number
That's
8.
number
It's a nice, quiet,
That-
dead-end
they're
street,
actually
too.
You could
6
see it
feet
when you
sign.
stand at the beginning of the cul-de-sac, he's always up the street, it's
Right.
lit at night, and you see the number 7. And some of those pictures that I put in there, you can see they're from my property, looking through Johnny's property, and through his number 8 property, I could see the number 7. And that, I'm 500 feet from it.
Do you have any reason to believe that it's like an Airbnb? Or like, what does he need to have a big 8?
I don't know
unless
if I don't know if it's, I think I think his son might live in one of them. I don't know what he's doing with the other.
I
Johnny,
was told the father bought 3 houses, and they're going to live in one, the father and mother, and then the sons are going to live in either of the other houses.
but my other concern is Johnny received mail in his mailbox asking about purchasing the property. Johnny's my direct neighbor. He's 9th Century. You're,
Yeah, 9.
yeah, you're not,
You're 10.
yes.
Yeah.
He's 9th Century Road. So if this entity purchases 9, is that what I'm going to see at 9th Century? And then across from me is 1A. Am I going to see a giant 1A if he purchases 1A? Because he's buying these properties right and left. So I don't know, but I'm concerned.
Okay. Okay, thank you. We do have, we just got it. We will look at this. I'm going to bring Jane up.
Thank you so much. I
and-
Thank you for
really
listening to
appreciate
us.
No,
Thank you.
Jane, you want to come up and? They weren't,
So this is
they
the
weren't
first I'm hearing
kidding.
about the lighting, which obviously, it's just starting to get dark early enough that we can even look into it. As far as the numbers, they're not an advertisement, so we in the building department did not see it as a sign. It's a sticky wicket at this point. Granted, I understand the neighbors don't like it, but it's just a number. So.
Yeah, but what if it's 10 feet? What if it's 12 feet? I mean, again, we are.
Again, if there's something we can
Okay,
talk
well, I'll have
further
the town
about,
attorney look at the
yeah.
code and see if there's something, or
And the
if
lighting
not.
has been an issue, as we know, for some
Yeah.
other properties. Again, it's a subjective thing. How far is it projecting, past the property line? And if any of the neighbors feel that someone trespassed, that's a police issue. They can file a complaint with the police department. We don't enforce trespass issues. So if someone did go on their property, they can contact the police department about that. And again, we can talk further about the numbers and the lighting. But yes, our code is not kind of vague.
Yeah, because our code didn't anticipate strange people putting up big numbers.
Putting up big numbers, yes.
Has anyone talked to the neighbors to ask them to take it down? Just curious.
They may stay, it's all.
So what is it actually considered?
Looks like a sculpture to me. It's not advertising anything.
We'll
Yeah.
take it, but okay. We'll look
Again,
at it.
it's an odd thing. It's first come up, and this is what happens a lot of times, and this is how codes
Yeah, but then we, I mean,
develop.
seriously, we should have a code on sculptures, because what, I mean, again, we're
Yeah.
going to, you know, what, 10-foot sculpture, I mean, a
There's
12-foot sculpture.
there's nothing on lighting, on how much light?
There is something. We just have to see if it's, how vague it is, or if it's, you know.
Right, like the.
Which is how far it's projecting.
Exactly,
That
and like
works
the
by
example
lumens.
Teresa brought up, it was not something that elevated to a violation.
Right,
They
I
just happen to be
understand.
across the street, the lights
But
on. Same thing
it's-
happens, two houses around
No,
me,
I have
they
the same
keep their
thing,
garage
right?
lights on all night long. Not sure
Light
why,
above
but
the
they are.
garage, every time a car goes up the block, it
Yes.
lights up the whole
I
neighborhood.
mean,
Lights
if it
up
was
the
a
whole
sign, the signage, the lights have to go off at 11 o'clock under the code, and it can't be projected beyond the sign. But what Jane's saying is that it falling between the cracks.
Right, and again, this is why
mean, that's
codes
what-
are
and
developed
that's
and
why you do
amended over
amendments to the
time
code.
to address
Right.
new things that come
Right,
up,
new
so.
things that come up.
And the light's
Okay.
regular, that's a post light. And that's just a four-headed post light, but it looks like they got a ton of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things we're finding is all the LED lights
So bright.
are much brighter.
Ridiculous.
So if someone goes and buys the new LED light to replace the light that they've had for 20 years on their front porch, now they put the LEDs,
Light up the whole
sometimes
backyard.
You gotta
it's like
hear
a
this
landing
homeowner.
strip,
She's
you know, you
going on about
can't,
the lights, it was like,
they're super bright.
You guys did for me.
Every time the light technology is changing, it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter, so.
All right, thanks,
okay,
Jane.
okay.
So-
Thank you.
Thanks, Jane.
Anybody else that would like to speak in the public portion? Heather?
Hello, good evening. Heather Hurley, Pearl River. I'm going to jump from one nuisance to another nuisance, from light nuisance to odor nuisances. I'm an active member of the Orangetown Environmental Committee. I did want to bring up concerns about odors from aloof plastics, which are continuing. A town employee visited Arthur Street back in August and verified an odor complaint with resident Allison Sullivan. Just wondering what happens with all of the recent complaints that are coming into the town website again. Are town employees verifying all complaints? There have been roughly 29 complaints from around the site in the last 24 days. In my FOIL request to the New York State DEC 3 weeks ago, the DEC responded today that Aloof Plastics is still under an Air State Facility Permit renewal review with the DEC for their Air State Facility Permit, which expired on January 29th, 2023. What is the town's role in oversight at this point, and who is following up with the DEC? Has the town conducted any recent inspections at the facility? Aloof's verified odors have been an ongoing issue for years. It is very concerning that the New York State Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli's audit of the DEC from September 2023 summarized that the New York State DEC was, quote, not always taking action to enforce compliance with air pollution control requirements established to protect the public. It also found that the DEC had not properly implemented and applied its environmental justice regulations when reviewing some permit applications for facilities causing air pollution. Taxpayers who live and work around this factory deserve answers and a definitive response from the town on how the town is going to investigate odor complaints and what enforcement actions the town can take. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to speak in the public portion? Okay, motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Jane, address that?
I would,
You want to address that?
yeah, I can address a little bit of it. And I will have Jane or Rob jump in. So we too noticed the uptick in the complaints from Aloof. They have been before our IUC, I should know what it means. And as of this week, we're told that they're going to be putting in this new system that finally got approved, right? Rob, why don't you tell us when it's going to be?
Well, my understanding is the new system was supposed to be in by the end of this month, so that's the end of this week.
And this new system explain to, what is it going to do?
I'm not the right guy to explain the new system.
No, right? Jane, are you the right girl?
I'm the right girl, definitely not the right guy. Yes, they're adding more filtration to the system that they have. It went through multiple reviews with the IUC, as well as an independent consultant that was hired by the IUC, Fellinger Engineering, who has been involved since the beginning when we challenged that their system was not working properly. He does believe that this will work if done properly. We have gone back and forth. There's been questions back and forth. I know there was actually, I think it was last Friday or the Friday before, there was a meeting with all the attorneys that says that they're going, their DEC permit was submitted. We issued the permit for the work to be done on installing the equipment. They don't want to begin installing the equipment until the DEC approves it. Understood, if they install the equipment and the DEC says, no, now they have equipment that may not be the right equipment. But I think everything's going to go fine based on all the reviews.
Now, is that approval the same thing that Heather's talking about? Do we know? No, something different.
Probably
No,
not.
the
This is
approval Jane's
different.
talking about is for the installation of
The
the
installation of the
system.
equipment.
I'm not sure, I should say I'm not sure. That's a different approval, that's a different permit.
Right.
That the
Okay, so
speaker
there's other
brought up.
permit that's expired with
Right,
the
so their
DEC.
air permit is separate completely from anything the town enforces. The DEC air permit, they have to renew that on a continual basis.
Right.
So that did expire, is the one that she's talking about, back in January. But they filed a new permit to install this new equipment. So there's the equipment installation as well as the yearly air permit.
So does that put a hold on what they had to have by January, the end of January? Does that?
They're kind of running parallel, so if they get the equipment in and everything's working properly, I think the other permit will be resolved. But I'm not an expert on the DEC permits. But that's my understanding of how that's working. But they have to get approval from the DEC for this equipment as well. So we approve it for our code and conformance with our performance standards, with our town consultant, but the DEC is a separate entity that has their own requirements on top of what
I
we
guess
do.
the question is, if they don't have a permit, it's expired, does it give us a basis to say you're not allowed to be?
No. Right. We don't enforce
No, they're-
anything that the DEC, right. We're separate. Yeah.
And Jane, there's been an uptick in the complaints. What's the procedure when they come in, just so?
Well, between DEME and the building department, they go out. Now, I know Eamon had gone out, his staff had gone out on 9 earlier on when they first started, and they could verify 6 of them. But last week, I did send out code enforcement there was 5 in a few days. Part of the problem is some of them are coming in, like someone put in a complaint on Thursday morning, I believe it was, for something that happened Wednesday night.
So you can't?
There's nothing we can do. But the ones that came in Thursday morning, he went right out on, he could not verify them. He did not, he went to all the key locations, which we all know where they are. And then he also, when he could not recognize anything, he drove down and drove around the plant. And he had a mild smell around the plant, but nothing that rose to a violation on past the property line. And that's what we have to base our violations on.
Okay.
So if we can get out there, they go immediately. But again, some of them are coming in too late.
Okay.
Okay, well, hopefully this new equipment gets approved and it works.
Right, and as you know, it is part of a settlement
A
agreement.
settlement, right, with the court.
And we have to allow them to go through with installation of the equipment, and yes, hopefully it'll solve the problem. Because they've claimed they have not changed anything, even though there was an uptick in odors. They were doing really good for a while there, so,
Can't believe a word they say. but
yeah, they have no reason, they can't give us any reason as to why all of a sudden it's different.
Okay,
Thanks, Jane.
Thanks, Jane.
okay. So where are we? Close the public question. Okay. So we actually have to resume the budget hearing. So can I get a motion to resume the public hearing on the budget?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on the budget? I have no one signed up. Nope. Okay.
Make a motion to continue.
Yeah, okay. So I have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, did you say to when? 14th. To the 14th. And, I'm sorry. And somebody seconded over here? 7:20. 7:20 PM. Okay. Paul moved, Jerry seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 5, can I get a motion to set the public hearing? Again, this is related to a property maintenance for November 14th, the property at 202 Old Pascack Road in Pearl River.
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
And number 6, set a public hearing again for the property at 218 Old Pascack Road in Pearl River.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 7, waive the 30-day advance notice requirement for alcohol beverage license for the Hudson West Sports Bar.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 8, approval of the 2023 certificate of sewer registration to Pro-Cut Landscaping. Motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, approve retainer agreement with Hodges, Walsh, and Burke. The only thing, Rob, don't we usually put like a not to exceed or something on there?
If you want, I guess. I
We
mean,
usually do.
then they just have to come and up it if it goes beyond. Now, right now, it's just a notice of claim, so, and some events have happened that maybe it might not go as far as we
Oh,
had thought,
okay.
so.
So whatever
If you wanna
retainer
say-
agreement we had says you could cancel at any time, right? They get paid up to that point?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, okay. Keep us posted on whatever event just happened. Okay. Okay, so can I get a motion?
Moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, approve award of mini bid, I don't even know, Denoyer Chevrolet, I never even heard of that thing, and a Tahoe Special Services vehicle. Second?
In Albany. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You got that, it was Jerry and Tom. You- Number 11, approve supplement agreement for the 2020-2021 municipal snow and ice agreements. This is something weird about this, okay. Jim's here if anyone has questions, otherwise, motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll
Second.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Same thing we do every year.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know what it is every year, but we do it every year.
Allows them to buy salt at a discounted price.
Yeah, okay, number 12, approve awarded Oh, that's what it is. See, I knew, every year you explain it, and I'm like, oh, that's what it is, and the next year I forget what it is. But anyway,
The state gets reimbursed.
okay. Okay. Okay, number 12, approve awarded contract to VAD Construction Corp. for the Franklin Avenue curb and sidewalk improvements.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 13, approve a temporary license for the Tappan Fire District to access for tree removal.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think you had 2 seconds, so you can pick whoever you want. Number 14, approve, award the contract for the Sport Tech Construction Corp. for the Franklin Street Park basketball court improvements in South Nyack. Motion?
Moved.
I'll second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 15, amend Resolution 2023 of 546, basically increasing the price of the playground by $30,000 at the Elizabeth Place Playground in South Nyack. Motion?
Moved.
Tom Divany moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 16, award a bid to the non-hazardous anti-corrosive odor control chemicals.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 17, we are pulling. Number 18, authorize the supervisor to sign a pilot agreement with Rockland Gardens House Partners Limited Partnership, Rockland County IDA, Village of Nyack, and Nyack Union Free School District for the property at 84 North Franklin Street. Motion.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
19, accept, receive, and file documents in the town clerk's office as designated there. Motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 20, grant Allison Carden, confidential assistant to town supervisor, a change rate of pay effective January 1, 2024, from $82,568 to $94,000. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? On the audit? No, there is. What's that?
This is adopted too, Chief.
No, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. My neighbor. Same age as my son.
Okay, the audit for tonight consists of 2 warrants for $1.06 million. First warrant had 29 vouchers for $30,000, was for utilities. Second warrant had 159 vouchers for $1.03 million. Items of interest, number 1, Capasso, $90,000 for recycling. Number 4, Fred Devens Construction, $183,000 for Tier 4 pump station improvements. Number 6, Joe Lombardo Plumbing and Heating, $51,000 for the new town hall plumbing. Number 9, Nielsen Ford, $186,000 for 4 police vehicles. Number 11, Seal Coating, $204,000 for highway road treatments. Number 14, Troon Golf, $190,000 for the golf course management contracts. And number 15, Virtuit Systems, $51,000 for battery backup systems for the new town hall. Any questions on the audit?
No. Motion to accept the audit?
Motion.
I'll second.
I think there's like 3. We had 1, 2, whatever, okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay, so we are going into executive session to discuss personnel-related matters. Anything else? No. Okay, yeah, so we do have an adjournment, and, you know, we do these often, and very often there's someone we're doing an adjournment on where it hits home. So the adjournment today is for my 27-year-old neighbor who died suddenly on Saturday night. He's the same age as my son. We grew up a couple houses away. So my thoughts and prayers are with his family who, you know, obviously 27 years old, it's a tough thing. So we're going to be adjourning in memory of Christopher Tucci, and we will not be coming out to vote on anything. So on that, can I get a motion to go into executive session?
Moved.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.